The International Criminal Court, or ICC, stands as a testament to the global commitment to justice. Established in 2002, the ICC aims to hold individuals accountable for the gravest crimes known to humanity: genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, and the crime of aggression. Operating independently of any state, the ICC embodies the principle that no one, regardless of their position or power, is above the law. The court's jurisdiction extends to crimes committed within the territory of a state party, or by a national of a state party. The ICC's mandate is triggered when national judicial systems are unable or unwilling to prosecute perpetrators of these heinous crimes. This principle of complementarity underscores the court's role as a court of last resort, stepping in when national systems fail to uphold justice. Over the years, the ICC has opened investigations in various countries, including Uganda, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Myanmar, sending a powerful message that impunity will not be tolerated. The ICC's investigations and prosecutions are guided by a rigorous legal framework enshrined in the Rome Statute, the treaty that established the court. The Rome Statute outlines the specific elements of each crime, ensuring that individuals are only held accountable for acts that meet the strict legal definition of genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, or the crime of aggression. This meticulous approach underscores the ICCC's commitment to fairness, due process, and the rule of law. The ICC's work is not without its challenges. As a young institution operating in a complex geopolitical landscape, the court faces criticism and pushback from some states. However, the ICC's unwavering pursuit of justice, its commitment to upholding the rights of victims, and its role in deterring future atrocities solidify its crucial place in the international order. The ICC represents a beacon of hope for victims of atrocity crimes, a testament to the power of international law, and a vital mechanism for building a more just and peaceful world. In a move that sent shockwaves through the international community, the ICC issued arrest warrants for both Israeli and Hamas leaders in a landmark case related to the long-standing Israeli-Palestinian conflict. This unprecedented decision marks the first time the court has sought to hold individuals from both sides of this deeply entrenched conflict accountable for alleged war crimes. The warrants target high-ranking officials, including military commanders and political figures, alleging their responsibility for crimes committed during the 2014 Gaza war. The ICC's decision to intervene in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict follows years of escalating violence and a failure to achieve a lasting peace agreement. The 2014 Gaza war, in particular, resulted in a devastating humanitarian crisis, with thousands of civilian casualties and widespread destruction. The court's involvement signals a recognition that the cycle of violence and impunity must end, and that those responsible for perpetrating atrocities must be held accountable. The issuance of these warrants has the potential to reshape the political landscape of the conflict. However, the ICC's intervention is not without controversy. Both Israel and Hamas have rejected the court's jurisdiction, arguing that the ICC lacks the authority to investigate or prosecute individuals from their respective sides. Israel maintains that it has a robust domestic justice system capable of addressing any allegations of wrongdoing by its military or political leaders. Hamas, designated as a terrorist organization by many countries, rejects the court's legitimacy outright. The ICC's decision to issue arrest warrants represents a bold move that could have far-reaching implications for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. While the warrants face significant obstacles to enforcement, they serve as a powerful reminder that international law applies equally to all parties, regardless of their political status or military might. The court's actions have the potential to deter future atrocities, provide a measure of justice for victims, and contribute to a more accountable and peaceful future for both Israelis and Palestinians. At the heart of the ICC's decision to issue arrest warrants lie specific allegations of war crimes committed by both Israeli and Hamas forces during the 2014 Gaza war. The court's investigation, launched in 2015, meticulously gathered evidence and examined witness testimonies to determine whether there was a reasonable basis to believe that war crimes had been committed. The ICC's findings, detailed in the arrest warrants, point to a pattern of violations of international humanitarian law by both sides. Against Israeli officials, the ICC alleges that war crimes, including willful killing, willfully causing serious injury to body or health, and extensive destruction and appropriation of property, not justified by military necessity and carried out unlawfully and wantonly, were committed during the 2014 Gaza war. The warrants cite evidence of disproportionate attacks on civilian targets, including homes, schools, and hospitals, resulting in significant civilian casualties. The ICC also alleges that Israel used Palestinian civilians as human shields, a grave breach of international humanitarian law. Hamas too faces serious allegations of war crimes. The ICC accuses Hamas of indiscriminately firing rockets into civilian areas in Israel, spreading terror among the civilian population. The court also points to evidence suggesting that Hamas used Palestinian civilians as human shields, placing them in harm's way during military operations. These actions, if proven in court, constitute serious violations of international humanitarian law and warrant accountability. The ICC's decision to issue arrest warrants is grounded in the Rome Statute, which outlines the specific elements of war crimes. The statute defines war crimes as grave breaches of the Geneva Conventions, including willful killing, torture, or inhuman treatment, willfully causing great suffering or serious injury to body or health, and extensive destruction and appropriation of property, not justified by military necessity and carried out unlawfully and wantonly. The ICC's allegations against both Israeli and Hamas officials fall within the scope of these definitions, providing the legal basis for the arrest warrants. Section 4. Global reactions, a spectrum of support and condemnation. The ICC's decision to issue arrest warrants against Israeli and Hamas leaders has elicited a wide range of reactions from the international community, reflecting the complex geopolitical dynamics surrounding the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Some states and international organizations have expressed support for the ICC's decision, viewing it as a necessary step towards accountability and justice. They argue that the warrants send a strong message that no one is above the law, and that those responsible for war crimes must be held accountable. Human rights groups have also welcomed the ICC's move, emphasizing the need for justice for victims of the conflict. They argue that the warrants offer a glimmer of hope to those who have long suffered from impunity and lack of accountability. These organizations stress the importance of upholding international law and ensuring that perpetrators of serious crimes are brought to justice, regardless of their nationality or political affiliation. However, the ICC's decision has also been met with fierce criticism and condemnation from some quarters. Israel, in particular, has vehemently rejected the court's jurisdiction and denounced the arrest warrants as politically motivated. The Israeli government maintains that it has a robust and independent judicial system capable of investigating and prosecuting any alleged crimes committed by its citizens. Israel argues that the ICC's involvement undermines its sovereignty and delegitimizes its efforts to defend itself against terrorism. Similarly, Hamas has rejected the ICC's authority, accusing the court of bias and double standards. Hamas maintains that its actions are legitimate acts of resistance against Israeli occupation and that the ICC is unfairly targeting Palestinians while ignoring Israeli crimes. The group has vowed to defy the arrest warrants and continue its struggle against Israel. Section 5. The Road Ahead, Navigating the Complexities of Justice and Peace. The ICC's decision to issue arrest warrants against Israeli and Hamas leaders marks a significant development in the pursuit of justice for alleged war crimes committed during the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. However, the road ahead is fraught with challenges and uncertainties as the court navigates the complexities of international law, geopolitics, and the pursuit of peace. The warrants face significant obstacles to enforcement, given the unwillingness of both Israel and Hamas to cooperate with the ICC. Israel has made it clear that it will not extradite its citizens to The Hague to stand trial, and Hamas is unlikely to surrender its members to a court it considers illegitimate. Without the cooperation of states, the ICC's ability to execute the arrest warrants is severely limited. The court relies on states parties to the Rome Statute to arrest and surrender suspects, and it lacks its own enforcement mechanism. The ICC's intervention also raises broader questions about the relationship between justice and peace in the context of ongoing conflicts. Some argue that pursuing prosecutions during sensitive peace negotiations could derail fragile peace processes and exacerbate tensions. They contend that focusing on accountability could hinder efforts to build trust and reconciliation between parties. Others maintain that justice is an essential prerequisite for lasting peace, and that impunity for past crimes only perpetuates cycles of violence. They argue that holding perpetrators accountable is crucial for deterring future atrocities and creating a climate conducive to peace. The ICC's actions in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict represent a critical test case for the court's ability to navigate these complexities and contribute to a more just and peaceful world.